whenever your CPU is there, it will generate the address, and that address will be called as a logical address. CPU will generate. So the concept of logical address space is that is bound to separate physical address. So if I am having RAM, so whatever address will be there in the random access memory, okay, these addressing, suppose it is starting from the 0000 and it will come, suppose it is coming for some any numbers like this. So what I will say, this is the here the addressing will be done. Like in your classroom, you had seen you are having the benches or seating plans are there, so each seat you can set it at one place where you can sit. So like this, and addressing also there, seat number 1 2 3 we can make the addressing. So same thing in the memory also, this type of addressing is there. And with the address only we what we do, we access the data from the memory and plus the instruction whatever is there, we access from the memory based on the address only. So here this, what is that, logical. So logical address generated by the CPU, and it is also one more name is there that we call the virtual address. Interchangeably this name is used, sometimes logical address, sometimes virtual address. If somebody asks what is the logical address, the address generated by the CPU. Okay. Or what is the virtual address? The address generated by the CPU. And then what about the physical address? So physical address seen by the memory unit. So what is my memory unit? You can see my memory is there, RAM. So in that, whatever address is there, like your classroom benches are the seatings are there. So if we start numbering the all the seats, if you have clearly seen your seat, your table or some seats are there in your classroom, they have written something in the coding form. They have written like that, like MITS slash, okay, NCA slash, like that it is written, you seen. So what is that? That is also one kind of numbering to locate the location. So here the logical and the physical addresses are same in compile time. Okay, in the we have discussed in the previous lecture what is the meaning of compile time, load time, and the execution time. So logical and physical address whatever is there, they are same in the compile time. During the compilation, in the compilation time, what happens, source code is compiled using the compiler and it is converted into the machine language binary format. Okay. So and load time are also the same, but logical, that we call virtual, and the physical addresses changed in the execution time of address binding scheme. So I have given the example of the previous in the previous lecture that it is like when you are in a flight and what happened, your seats are in different places, so you have requested one person and now you can sit with your family member. So in this way this can be done. So what is this here, the logical address space? Now comes the logical address we can generate. So if we collect all the logical addresses that generated, so it will make a space range of the addresses, so that we call the logical address space. Okay. So it will contain all set of all the logical addresses, okay, generated by the program, because for some program you need the addresses. So for that, whatever the address space will be there, so that set of all the addresses will call the logical address space. And physical address space means the program has generated some for program some logical address is generated, so that address will be mapped where into the memory. Okay, here memory is there here as per the address whatever. So same thing will be mapped here in the memory. So this range is called the here, whatever physical addresses range will be there, set of all the addresses, that will call the physical address space. So this range, if I see here, this is the operating system address space, and this range we can say it is a user space. So here mapping we will do for the program, physical mapping of the logical addresses will be done. So this range will be called as a physical address space. Okay. Next, coming to the memory management unit. So it is a very important and significant unit that takes care of the memory, how much memory is free, which portion is free, and who is having the control of the occupied memory. Okay, so these many things are covered into the memory management. This is the responsibility of the memory management. If we say memory management, it is a hardware device. Okay, so it's hardware device. Its task is to map. Mapping is the task. So mapping means whatever virtual address is there, virtual address I told. So whatever virtual address is there, this will be mapped to your, which one? It will be mapped to your physical addresses. Okay, so to physical addresses. So mapping will be done in the physical address, that is the memory. Suppose you have undergone the one mid exam. So what had happened, in front of the exam cell you have seen one seating plans. Okay, in that you have known this south block. Okay, this floor, row number this, and seat number this. So this type of you get the address yours for your seating plan. So that is logically generated. But what you will do now, you will take that seat and you will go for that mapping. Okay, and you will find your seat into the classroom in respective block. So what is this? This is called the mapping. So this type of mapping, who does here? This memory management unit, that is a hardware. So what is happening in memory management scheme? The value in the relocation register. There is a register we call the relocation register. Previously we were calling it is a base register. Okay. So what it does? It is added to every address generated by a user process at the time it is sent to the memory. So the address generate the user program. Generally the user programs, whatever is there, it deals with the logical addresses. It never sees the, it never look the about the physical address. So it always deals with only the physical addresses. It never sees the real physical address in the memory what is there. Okay, so this is the thing we can see here. So this relocation register is very important, and already it is there from the base register to relocation register is now changed. So where we use in MS-DOS and Intel 8086, okay, use the how many? 4 relocation registers. So what is happening here? The execution time binding occurs when the reference is made. Means reference means you are addressing, you are making the addressing to the location in the memory, and logical addresses bound to physical addresses. Logical address whatever generated, this will be mapped to the physical address. That's it. And this is the simple thing that we can know here. So I think two things are clear here. Three things I think clear. First one is the, what is that? First one is, hello. What is the first one? First one is the logical address. Next one is the physical address. After physical address, that is the memory management unit. So memory management unit is a which type of device? Hardware device.
Hardware device.
Its task is to map the virtual
Mapping
address.
the physical address.
Very good. So this is the task. So three things I think clear. We can go ahead. That same thing is here. Relocation register is there. We talked about now previously. We were calling some base register. Now if we see the what is that? The physical address after that relocation register. So what is happening? You can see here routine is not loaded until it is called. Routine means program. Okay. So better memory space utilization, unused routine is never loaded. So what is meaning of this one? What we do, because memory whatever we have that has the limited space, limited reasons. Okay, and you want the programs to run there. So what you will do? We will keep only the necessary routines or programs in the in the memory to execute. All those things will keep not will not bring here. Okay. So what is happening here? If we say that we are telling it is a memory or RAM. Okay. One time I repeated, I told the RAM is like, suppose any function or something is happening in your college or in a university or in any place, in a place. So what happens? So all the arrangement, everything is done. Okay, and the performance is done only at the stage. So what is the stage is there? Na, suppose this one is the whole everything. Audience are here. Okay, they are sitting here. But what is that here? The stage. So whatever the functions or performance will be there by the different participants, it will be done at which place? It will be done in this stage only, the main stage here. Okay, so you will perform. After that your performance is over, next team or next participant will come and they will perform whatever activity is there. So like this stage in the program, the RAM is also plays the same role. We bring the program, we run here and we will take it back. So for better utilization, unused routine is never loaded into the where? Into the RAM or main memory. So all routines, then what we will do? Here we will keep, if we are not loading here also. So what we can do, one solution is that you don't bring, you keep there in the hard disk. So whatever your secondary storage is there, so you keep there only. Okay, whenever it is required, then you bring that one. Okay, suppose, so I am not using this routine or this part of the some program, so I will keep there. If it is required, I will keep here. Okay, suppose this program is over, I will keep here like this. So we'll see it in detail also once again. So what happens? So useful when large amount of code are needed to handle infrequently, okay, occurring cases. So no special support from the operating system is required. So what is that? First 2 points are there. It can be implemented through the program design, and another one is the OS can help by providing libraries to implement dynamic loading. So in the previous lectures we have seen the linking. So linking compile like compile time, load time, okay, and execution time. Linking we also do, means whatever libraries are available, we can make one library. Means this lab, suppose some particular library A is being frequently used. What I can do? In what I can do, I can keep it in one place. Later on, whenever it is required, we will link it. Okay, will not load all the libraries for every programs, so they will share. Like that we can improve the performance also. Okay, you see this here how this is done. CPU has generated some address. Suppose this address, this has generated 346. This is called the logical address. Who generated? Your CPU generated. Okay, and for particular program, and this will be mapped into the memory. So before that, what we have to do? In that we have the relocation register. So in the relocation register, previously we were calling it is a base register. So what we were doing, we were adding this value to that one. So what is this? 1400 and 346. If you add up these, it will come here, na? So it will be added relocation register and plus this generated address, logical address by the CPU, that is 346. So how much we are getting? 1436. And now this 1436 will be the address that will be mapped into the memory. So it will look for this address into the random access memory or main memory. So here the task is that here who plays the role? Memory management unit. So what it does, it is having one relocation register, whatever generated by the CPU, it has added. Suppose meaning of this is 1400. From 1400 ahead you can use the spaces. Okay, So in this way we can map the logical address to physical address using this scheme. This called the relocation register, and this relocation register previously it was called the what? It was called the base register. Okay, so same thing linking we can see here. What is the linking? We have the like uh, loading. We have seen the execution address binding during the what we call the compile time, load time, and next one was the execution time. Similarly, linking is also here, but we are categorizing it into two parts. That is, the first is the static linking and another one is the dynamic linking. So in the static linking means whenever program you are writing, executing in the same time, the linking will be done. Okay, whatever required library is there, they will be linked together to the program. Like you are writing one program, you have seen some program C++ or okay C program, in that you are using some header files. So that is also one kind of library that you are using for your programming purpose. Okay. So these two things you can do by two ways. You can add the static time and same times, and later on also as per the requirement. Okay. So system libraries and program code combined by the loader into the binary program image. Okay. Next one is the dynamic linking. In that, linking postponed. We are not in the beginning we are not linking. What we are doing, we are delaying. Postponing means delaying until execution time, until we are coming to the just for the execution. Okay, we will not link it. That's why we are postponing, means delaying the linking. So now the question comes, what is the benefit? Why we are delaying? If we link everything in the beginning, and we know we have the RAM size not very large. Okay, if you link everything in the beginning, so unnecessary it will occupy the space. That's why one way is to delay it as we can delay it for linking. So this is called the dynamic link. Dynamic means it is not in the beginning itself, that is time is not fixed. Okay, when you will do as per the requirement, when it is compulsory, now you can't go. So for that time, so what is that here? A small piece of code, we have the stub used to locate the appropriate memory resident library routine. Okay, so now question comes, what is the stub? Stub is also a small piece of code, you can see here, and this code simulates the some functionality, simulates the some. Suppose you have some program. Okay, so its job is to simulate to the original things. And one example I will tell, if you have opened one website and the website is for online. Okay, it is helping in online shopping. So what we can do, you have to build the website. In that, after particular person has chosen the product, after that what we have to do, you have to go for uh, payment. So while you will go for the payment, in the payment you have to use some payment gateway. What you will do, you have to use a payment gateway for the payment. Okay, now comes one is the COD, can you cash on delivery, another is payment. If you are going to do payment, so what is the payment gateway you have to use for that purpose. Okay, now coming our objective to know what is the step. So in the beginning when you are preparing this website was developed in a development phase. So you have built one payment gateway, payment system in your, you have inbuilt this functionality in your website. Okay, so what you will do, in the development phase you will not link the payment gateway to directly to the bank. Okay, so for that what you will do, same thing for the simulation purpose, for to do these transactions, what you will do, you will make some dummy payment system, some dummy. Okay, you will some do some dummy payment gateway kind of things here. So first you will check for this one. Okay, this dummy payment gateway, you will check all the transactions whether the credit and debit is happening properly or not. is there any discrepancy or inconsistency is there or not, all those things you will check here. Okay, before going to the real bank transactions. So what you are doing here in a dummy way, you are, this is called the simulations. So this program, it will work like this one. So this will program, if want to have some input, you will put in the stub, and this stub will work as a dummy program for the original. So like this, testing everything you can do here. So stub, what it does, it replaces itself with the address of the routine, okay, and executes the routine. The same thing here. So next, operating system checks if the routine is in processes memory address. Okay, if not in address space, add to the address space. Okay, and we have the dynamic linking is particularly used for the libraries only. Okay, because some frequently usable library we have built, and what we have done, we have kept it into the system, and whenever some program is using, we can connect that, we can link that libraries. Okay, so it is sometimes also we call a shared library. Why? Because many programs may be using the same library. This is the example, this is the concept, this is the advantage of that. Means same file they are using everybody. No need of separately creating the library for every program. If that is shareable, we can share it. So it will reduce the memory space also in the system, reduce the size of the operating system also. So here we will consider applicability to the patching system library. So what is the benefit of this one? This library is already there in the system. If any changes or updation is coming, immediately you can update into the library, whatever library is there. If it is a shared, means one place you replace, you update, and no need to do the changes in each and every places, because we have using library as a common or shared libraries. So for that, what we can do, versioning may be needed. So versioning means, suppose software also come, software like Windows, it is there. If we talk about the Windows, okay, so this time like 10 is running, so it will come 10.1, some patches will come 10.1.1 like that. So what is that basically? Initially it was 10.000 version was there. Now we are writing like this. So what is happening? Upgradation is coming. So we will call this is the versions. So this is called the versioning, and it may be needed. So for that also we can easily do. Now, so what is that? This is now very important concept we use in the operating system, and when we have to run the programs that is larger the size of the memory, so we can use the swapping concept. So what is in basically swapping? Any idea you have what is meaning of swapping? uh, can anybody tell? Do you have any idea of swapping? Don't know? Okay, if you don't have idea, then I will let
Sir,
you know. Yeah, tell me.
interchange, sir. Interchange, sir.
Interchanging. Okay, what you will interchange here, dear?
Sir,
Here
the
what you will interchange? Yes, yes.
sir, memory, sir.
Memory. In the memory is there, we will interchange the program or memory or some part of the program.
Some part of the program, sir.
Okay, okay, very good, very good. I think you have a little idea about it. Don't worry. So what is the
Okay, sir.
swapping? Okay, thank you. So what is swapping actually? We'll see the literal meaning here, then we'll let you know the actual whatever the things. Suppose you have random access memory, I told, and here you have this hard disk. Okay, so what happens? Operating system, everything resides your in the hard disk. Whenever you switch on your program, the hard disk is loaded here, and the operating system is loaded here, and we call it is a what we call operating system, or this is system area. This is reserved for the operating system. Rest of the part you can use for yourself. Okay, coming to here, if you are using this is a program J1, it is running here, and if you want to make it multi user program, so what you can do? Okay, so what you can do, this you can keep here as a temporary space here, or we call it swap space. Suppose particular program J1 is running here, okay, and what you can do, if you want any this program is executing, maybe it is requiring some input output operation, or some input interrupt had happened. For that what you can do, this will not be going to run. So what you can do, you can put this here, okay, and you can take another program here for execution purpose. So what we actually we are doing, this is called the swept out, what we call the swept out, and this is called the sweep in. What is here? Swap in and swap out. So like this we can see. So in this way what we can do, the lateral memory space is there, and we can run this, we can use this mechanism for running the large programs also. So what is happening here, total physical memory space of process can exceed the physical memory. So one more example I will tell. Suppose you have this program memory, and your memory size is 256 MB. Okay, how much? 256 MB only you have the space, and one process is there that I want to run in this random access memory or main memory in the size of 256. What I am going to run, I have a 400 MB program. So my space is 256, but I want to run a process which is having the, which will require 400 MB space. So if I reduce this to 5, deduct, then how you will get 4, and you will get how much? You will get 4, and what how much you will get? You will get 114 more memory is required to run your program into this. Okay, so but you have only 256 MB of memory. Then what is the problem? How you can solve this problem? One objective is there. Whenever you are running any large program, say for this was your program, so whenever you are running this large program, so entire 4 MB size whatever program will be there, it will won't be executing simultaneously. Some part may be executing, all others will not execute. They will execute later on, or they may have already in the previously they have executed. So for that this concept helps by the swapping. So what we can do, whatever required, okay, part is there that is going to be executed, you keep into the memory only, the RAM access, random access memory. All other things you keep where? In the hard disk. And whenever suppose these portions they have executed, so you swap out, and now you bring the rest of the programs one by one like that. So in this way what we can do, in a lesser space we can run large size of the program. Have you understood this? What is the example, what is the benefit from that? When the physical memory is less, okay, and you want to run a program which is larger than the physical memory, so in those cases swapping will help. In the swapping, the important part of the program that will be immediately executed you have to keep in the memory, rest of the things you have to keep into the secondary storage, and here you will keep these swapped processes are part of the program will called the backing store. You will keep into the backing store, okay, and backing store I told, and this is also known as roll out and roll in also, swapping swap out I told, okay. But the problem is here the transfer rate is very much here. What is that? The transfer means transferring the program from the memory to the hard disk or the backing store. It will increase the extra overhead to the operating system, okay. So it will degrade the system for performance, because you are also spending some CPU cycle in sending the process back and forth, okay, to the operating system and sorry, the backing store and the memory. So in this way you have to do it. So for that what you can do, some other approaches also applied. So in the beginning, when this concept was applied, so what they did, if you have a program here, the operating system is there, so they have keep two areas here like buffer 1 and buffer 2. Okay, and suppose this is the user program, here you can run your any of your program. Okay, and this region, if you say this is the region that we call the HDD or hard disk, whatever your program is there. Okay, so what you can do, suppose one program is running here, suppose J1, this is the J2 and this is the J3. So what you can do, in place of sending here, what you do, you what if J1 has completed some part, you sent here. Okay, and you have saved here. Now what you do, don't transfer here, it's the responsibility of the other parts. Okay, and what you do here, this J2 you have to bring here, so you keep in the buffer. So whenever in this region you have to bring the program, immediately you can bring from here. And if you want to keep the program into the swap space, or you can see here in the buffer, you will immediately keep. So from here this will be kept out. So compared to sending from the hard disk to the RAM is taking more time in comparison to the keeping the data or program into the buffer 1, buffer 2, because it is a RAM only. So within the RAM very fast. If you are changing the memory, then it will be slow down. So for that, this concept is also used for that, for improving the memory. Okay, so it's, I already told, it's the, what is that, extra overhead that is done. Okay, so in many operating system, Unix, Linux and Windows, we use this one. Okay, in a modified way. Same thing, that whatever I describe, it is here. Operating system is there, one program, some part of program is there, process 1 you keep out. Okay, that we call the swap out. Now swap in means from the backing store you are bringing into the user space once again, that we call the swapping. That's it. Why we are doing? Because I want to run the program, okay, in a smaller space, a larger program. Okay, so how much time